Hello everyone, Alexander Flores here, and welcome to episode 7 of Creating a Software Company. In this video, we're going to be simply connecting and authorizing our account to use the Instagram API. So I'm here at the Instagram documentation, and I'm at this URL. I'll have this in the description if you want to follow along. And we're looking for the server-side flow. So in this exact example, we're going to be doing 3 different steps. The first one is sending our users to this URL, and we'll have to change it a little bit to add in our client ID and our redirect URI. So the client ID tells Instagram who's trying to authenticate, like with what app, and then the redirect URI is going to be where to send them after this first step. So where to send them is going to be right here. So it's going to give us this code, which is a temporary code, I believe, and then it's just some random string basically. Then we're going to use that to send a post request to this right here. And then we're going to pass in certain information to help us with that post request. Okay, so we want to go to the top and go to Manage Clients. And make sure you're logged in, by the way. Then create a new client. So our application name, this isn't the official app. This is mostly just to test the authentication flow and make sure that the code is working. Because we're not logged into this Social Dash app. This is worn off keys. But we're just going to do some basic testing here. So we'll have the description be that. Company name, website, valid redirect URI. So this, in our local development example, will be HTTP localhost callback Instagram. Then we're going to press enter to make sure that that works right there. The privacy policy and the contact email. Most of this information is just like stuff to fill in because I don't actually have this domain attached to anything right now. Okay, so now I have a client ID. I want to go over to manage, and we should see the client secret as well. So both of those are right here. So what I want to do is, in order to gain access to that information through my code, I want to create a config file. So then here we're going to say client ID and then client secret and then redirect URI, which will be HTTP localhost callback Instagram. So now we want to copy the client ID and paste it here. And we want to copy the client secret and paste it here. Make sure there's no space at the end of either of these, because there was when I clicked my client secret just now. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to come over to our routes and I'm going to import it here. Okay, so now, before I continue, I do want to import 2 packages, which is request and request promise. So while those are importing, let's go ahead and write some code. Let's go back to authentication. And then we want to go ahead and copy this right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen for when our users go to our website /link/Instagram. You can have this be whatever you want. It doesn't have to be this, of course. And then we're going to simply redirect them to this. Now we're going to go through and we're going to edit the client ID. So that will just simply redirect them. And let's try that out. So let's go and run our server with node.js. Okay, and then let's go to localhost link Instagram. And that should redirect us. Okay, so here we are. We see our client ID and redirect URI here. Let's go to authorize. Okay, so here's that code that we see, which is right down here. So this code is going to be useful in the next step. But first we have to listen for callback Instagram. So let's go ahead and listen for that in our routes. Make sure you don't have 2 backslashes. Request response. Then we're going to say we have to import request promise, and then we're going to create a post request. So I'm going to go back to the documentation and I'm going to copy this right here so we understand what we're sending. So we're going to send a post request to this. So rp.post URI is this right here. And then we're going to have the form, which will pass in all the rest of the information we need. So we need the client ID. Client underscore ID is going to be config.instagram.client ID. Then we're going to say client secret is the same thing. And then grant type is the string of authorization code. Redirect URI is also in the config. Redirect URI. And then code will be request.query.code because that's where it is in the parameters. Then we are going to console.log. Actually, let's just do response.send data. So right here, to do would be save to database. Okay, so now that we have that information, we're going to actually try and send it. So let's see if this works. Let's refresh. Actually, I'm not sure if this code is temporary or not. I forget. So let's just go to link Instagram again. Okay, so we just redirected, we redirected it here, and then we're just sending this information. So here's the access token, and then we get more information on the user, such as the name, the profile picture, URL, the bio, and is business false. So we can get more information, but this is what we are provided with whenever we first initialize the account. So let's go ahead and try this out by going to endpoints. Let's get an example of getting more information on our account. So let's copy this URL right here, which will give us more information on the user, such as, I don't think here it tells us, yeah, it doesn't tell us our follower count and all that stuff. So we get access to our media count, followers and following count, things like that. So let's go ahead and copy this, and let's get rid of this access token. And then let's copy this access token, which we just got, and paste it right there. And then this should look similar to this, but we should have more information, such as the counts right here. So this works. Everything is connected and working. So normally we would actually take this access token and store it in a database. And so we will eventually get to doing that, but I just wanted to make sure that we have the basic concepts down. So it's just one less thing to do later on. So that is pretty much it for this video. Pretty simply just connecting to the Instagram API. Thanks for watching.